Welcome back, this is News Extra. Now tonight we're taking a little look ahead to the future about what's coming up at Norwich's biggest arts venue, the Theatre Royal. They're announcing their new programme today, but not just that. How much effort goes into putting the whole lineup together? I'm joined tonight by Jane Walsh, the programming manager at the theatre. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening.
Well, we'll look at some of the highlights of things that are coming up, some of the very big productions that are coming up in the next 12 months. But first, let's look at the process, how we actually go about putting a programme together. How many months or years in advance does this start getting assembled?
Well, I mean, it absolutely varies. At the moment, for example, I've got pencils in the diary up to 2022, but that's sort of fairly sketchy notes of the diary. But there are sort of fixed points in the year, so the pantomime, we know when that's going to be. It's always going to be over the Christmas period. That's sort of fixed points. And it's really a case then of putting all the different types of shows together, in any particular year. And hopefully, what would be really nice would be to try and get different types of shows at further, not consecutive weeks. But sometimes that doesn't happen because we need to fit in with a touring show which might be visiting another 20, 30, 40 other theatres, and they have to get their calendars all synchronised with ours.
Because I guess when things are being booked in, like the big sort of headline summer, like Mamma Mia next year,
absolutely.
How long in advance do things like that have to be arranged?
We've probably been talking about Mamma Mia for about 3 years, and similarly with Mary Poppins, for example, that we had last year. That, because it was a 5-week run, had been in the diary for probably about 4 or 5 years, and those are the sorts of shows that get in the diary first of all, because they're looking usually for longer runs. And then there are other sort of points in the year, Dance from Northern Ballet and some of the Matthew Bourne productions, they book in quite early into the diary, and so do Glyndebourne on tour, and then you sort of build up around it really. And then, as I say, we're looking a long way ahead at the moment, but I'm also just talking to somebody about a one-nighter show that fits in June next year. So it's all, there isn't really a set pattern.
So a mix of short-term and long-term.
Absolutely, yeah.
But let's look at some of the highlights coming up in the next 12 months. Are there any particular ones you're particularly proud that are coming to Norwich and that are going to be on at the Theatre Royal?
Yes, I mean, I think particularly this year there's a good mix of drama coming through. We're getting Abigail's Party, which was the revival of a play that was hugely popular, quite a sensation. In fact, there's quite a few retro things in there, starring Alison Steadman initially, but it'll be Amanda Abingdon who plays Beverly in this production, and she's probably best known for being in Sherlock. She's John Watson's wife, Mary Watson. We've also got a new production of Shirley Valentine coming with Jodie Prenger as Shirley. Woman in Black's coming back to us. We've got 2 Shakespeares from the Watermill Theatre, directed by Paul Hart, who was very, very involved with the Propeller Company. So very edgy, very modern day productions of Twelfth Night and Romeo and Juliet. So yes, it's sort of quite a strong drama season coming up.
Because when you're actually assembling that lineup, do you think, well, we want to get this many dramas, this many opera style performances, this many dance performances? Do you start off with quotas? How does that whole process work?
No, not really quotas, because the only thing that we produce ourselves each year is the annual pantomime. So we're sort of at the mercy of whatever's actually out there and touring. So you can't really say, yes, I definitely like 12 dramas this year and they need to be in these sorts of weeks. The show has to be, ready to tour when we're going to brochure. So it's really just trying to get the best of what's available at the time and then into a brochure. For this one, we're just announcing the shows today. We've been working on actually physically getting it into a booklet, for several months now, and it went to the printers at the end of October. So all the details by the end of October had to be in place. So performance schedules, timings, dates, tickets, prices, discounts, all those types of things had to be negotiated and ready to roll by the time it went off to the printers.
Because a lot of the musicals, I would imagine, they hoover up a lot of the publicity, you know, like Mamma Mia, a sister act that's been announced as well.
Absolutely.
I guess they hoover up a lot of the publicity, but is that kind of a lot of what people are after, you find?
I think, you know, certainly in Norwich musicals, and it's probably the same all over the country, and actually if you look at the West End of the number of musicals that are generally on there, I think, you know, they are very, very popular. I suppose in a way as well, they're usually more familiar titles, and I think that often helps with people's sort of perception of what they want to go and see. So as you say, you know, Mamma Mia here for 4 weeks, already proving very popular. We've probably sold nearly 3 weeks worth of tickets already, and it's not here till March. So I think probably the more familiar titles, yes, may sell more quickly.
But when you come to looking at the other things that might not be as obvious to people, often getting people in for the well-known musicals, some of the well-known touring plays, for example, can be a way in for people who might not go to the theatre so often.
Yes, I think it probably is. And I keep, you know, quoting Mamma Mia really, but because again it's such a sort of familiar title, I think people feel quite comfortable with it. A lot of people will have seen the film, they know the story, and will know, you know, ABBA songs. So this is sort of a, you know, what's not to like about it, and I think it is one of those shows that is quite appealing to people who aren't necessarily regular theatre goers.
Because I think anyone who saw Mary Poppins in the last year or Miss Saigon a few years ago, Norwich very much on that West End tour, I suppose now. Do you feel it is very much firmly established in that sort of sphere for those sort of producers? Yes,
absolutely, and we are certainly key dates for an awful lot of producers for those big shows now. I think the first one we did was several years ago now. A production of Miss Saigon came to us from the Cameron Mackintosh organisation. We had that for 4 weeks. And up until then, we'd never had anything more than sort of 1 or 2 weeks there, apart from the annual pantomime. So although we were really confident about the title of Miss Saigon and that people would enjoy it and want to come and see it, and we could sell tickets for it for 4 weeks, we were a little bit nervous about what it might do to the rest of the season. So that, you know, so many people coming over a 4-week period, you know, nearly 40,000 people. What then happens to the weeks that sort of surround it? But actually it sort of worked very well. We had very different programming during the season, and, you know, people came to see different things.
But I guess producers now have confidence in the theatre and the audience that those sort of productions will do well here.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we've had several shows now for 5-week runs. We've done Les Miserables for 5 weeks. We had Mary Poppins last year for 5 weeks. So yeah, I think they're quite confident that we'll be able to sort of deliver good audiences for them.
But when it comes to looking at, say, more family audiences, there's a couple this coming year that you must be quite proud to have got in, the David Walliams one, for example.
Absolutely, and again, we've actually been talking about that for a long, long time, because again, trying to fit it in with other theatres and their diaries and what we had space for. But we've probably been, yes, chatting about that for at least 2 years, I should think. So really pleased that that's finally coming to us, and just before it's going into the West End. So good timing.
It must be indeed. But now it's all out there for people. It must be almost a relief for everyone who's involved in bringing the whole thing together when there's so many moving parts.
Yes, I think so. You know, it's quite nice to know that at least one season is fixed, and the brochure comes and lands on your desk and think, "Oh, that's good." But actually, you know, it's absolutely constant. As I say, we're sort of talking about shows through, certainly quite a lot of shows through up until 2020, and then sort of odd shows up until 2022. So it's a never-ending process. It doesn't really sort of stop.
Well, Jane, fascinating to see how that all comes together. Quite a feat of organisation. Thank you very much indeed. That is all the time we have for this evening. As ever, you can always join the conversation on Twitter. We're at Mustard TV. Use the usual hashtag #NewsExtra. I'd love to know what you're most looking forward to in 2017. Tomorrow night at the same time, it's Business Extra. But for now, my thanks to Jane for her time, and to you for watching. Have a very good night.